A lot is going on in the country as we do open our show this morning on the 15th of May 2023. A lot of Kenyans weighing in on issues that are on or in plan by the government, and also Kenyans also thinking about what the president did talk about the country when the media met him for a joint interview from State House. That's exactly what we're going to get into this morning. And also this month, it is a mental health awareness month. We do have that discussion also coming up shortly right here. This is Morning Drifts. My name is Simba Kiage. We are online at Lookuptv across all your social media platforms. I am at Kiage Simba. We do have a jam-packed session for you all the way to 9:30. Let me just tell you exactly what it is that you're waking up to this morning in terms of your political economy. Now, this morning, APRA has already released the new prices for fuel, and the big news around this particular item is that the subsidy on kerosene and diesel has been removed. So now, as from today, this is exactly what we're going to expect. When you walk into a petrol station, you're going to buy a diesel at around 168 shillings, a jump of almost 6 shillings, depending on exactly where you are. Petrol would go all the way up to 182 shillings a litre. That's up 3 shillings from the 179 standard that you're buying it. And kerosene, which is the most heat, has attracted a 15 shillings jump from the 145, 146 that we're buying it currently to 161 shillings. And by the way, this comes even before the 16% VAT also comes into effect, because if indeed the president then lives true to his word of removing all the subsidies and also increasing the fuel levy or VAT by 16% from the current 8%, then we do expect that these prices are going to keep on increasing as well. Now, again, as we wake up this morning, the cases of what the president spoke, the news about what the president spoke also is also now taking center stage in the country. We do know Kenyans are weighing in on the 3% National Housing Fund that is in the proposed 2023-2024 budget document. Now, if that goes through, and from what majority of the Kenya Kwanza allied members of parliament or leaders have been saying, it looks as if it's going to go through, then that means then that we're going to get hit heavily. NSSF has gone up, NHIF has gone up, and this 3% housing fund has also gone up, with a lot of government and special docket leaders like David Ndii, who's the chief economic advisor, State House, saying that, well, Kenya as an economy needs to expand its tax bracket to about 20 to 30%. He says that indeed 10% tax bracket is for dying nations. Do you agree? That is also a particular conversation that we have to look into more specifically right here as we keep on talking about our conversations this morning. Also, the story of Mackenzie also is taking center stage in the country today. We're going to look into how the case is developing, and now there are a lot of stories that are coming out. Now, the death toll, as we do know of it, is 201 currently, with the process of looking for more bodies at that particular property also going on. And the year was 2019 when Pastor Mackenzie moved to Shakahola, the wilderness. He told members of his Good News International Church that will go to meet Jesus. No wonder then a majority of them have lost their lives. That particular one on the sideline as well. We also do know that there's a bill that has also been fronted by the AG that is coming to regulate churches. The churches seemingly now on the spot of claims of radicalization. Now, That's exactly what it is that we're opening up our morning to. Majority of the stories are also going to come back. We're going to look at exactly what it is in the newspapers this morning with the analysts. We're going to walk into the studio shortly. For now, we take a tiny breather. Once we come back, I'll be taking you straight to the newsroom. We'll get to show you some of the biggest stories that you're waking up to this morning. Good morning. All right, welcome back. My name is Simba Kiage. Now, African club champions AFC Leopards thrashed the 19 FKF Premier League champions Gor Mahia 2-1 in an FPL clash at Nyayo National Stadium. Gor Mahia's loss settles the Green Commandos in the second position with a 63 points, only a point below the new league leaders Tusker AFC, who won against the Kariobangi Sharks, while AFC Leopards hold position 7 with a 45 points.
And this is indeed a good story to tell.
Move on. University students from Kakamega County are threatening to join in the nationwide protests over what they term as oppressive taxes. Now, addressing the press in Kakamega town, led by the chairman of Victor Wangusi, they have strongly condemned the government's plan or proposal to withdraw funding from the Higher Education Loans Board HELB for students in private universities.
Comrades power. Comrades
As the government unveiled a new university and TVET's funding model, students drawn from Kakamega County are up in arms over new proposed taxes and cuts affecting HELB funding. The students claimed the withdrawal of HELB funding from private universities was unjustified and oppressing to both students and parents.
Comrades are seeing hell. Sisi tunainama bwana. Mr. President, tumechoka na kuinama, utupe HELB. Hata kama ni noma, tell us the facts. Mr. Mochogu, CS for Education, kindly can you address this issue? We are not feeling fine. Atusikii vizuri, tunaumia. Mr. President, focus on what you promised us. Let us not tusiongeze vitu zingine juu sasa tumeingia uongozini.
Mr. President, by the way, tunaomba utusaidie sana. Hii pesa kidogo yenye wazazi wanatupea itusaidii. Unakuja rent nafaa ulipe. Mambo ya shopping pia vitu zimepanda. Hakuna vile utalipa utanunua hiyo shopping. Tunashindwa tutafanya nini? Hadi wengine ujue inafika mahali mtu ana feel like aache masomo, na masomo ni kitu ya maana, inafaa tusome.
Led by their chairman, Victor Wangusi, the students threatened to join the opposition in anti-government protest if the government did not change to a favorable funding model.
We are not happy as comrades when we hear the Minister of Education telling us that he's going to withdraw help from our private universities. The people who sat down and included help in our private universities were not fools. And Soita Shitanda was the person who brought that motion in parliament. So it has died, now you want to come and kill us too as comrades. The way William Ruto is taxing Kenyans is alarming. And if you will continue this way, we are going to mobilize all comrades in this country, and we are going to verge and march to State House, and we will come and tell you face to face. And you can take it to the bank that if we carry almost the 4 million comrades in this country to State House, you cannot have a place to keep us. Please, give us a break. Comrades, power. Power.
David Alex, Lookuptv.
2 people have died and 3 others are nursing gunshot injuries following a bandit attack in Lookuptv, Simba County. And as Innocent Elgaro reports, the suspected bandits made away with 200 hearts of cattle.
A fierce exchange of gunshots between police officers and suspected bandits in Samburu County that lasted almost 6 hours has left 1 head shot and 1 suspected bandit killed.
Kulingana na communication zetu kama serikali, wale administration officers ambao wako Lookuptv wametuarifu, nasi pia tukammobilize KPR ambayo tuko nayo hapa hivi. Mimi niko na KPR na pia niko na askari ya Astu. Hii ni kambi ya Astu. Tukaarifu hawa ndio tukaenda kuambusha watu wale walikuwa na mbuzi. Ijapokuwa kabla tuwafikie hao watu wamefika, wamegawa mbuzi na wakaingia mahali ambayo terrain ambayo ni ngumu kuingia, na kuna watu walibaki juu ya milima kuambusha watu. Sasa bahati mbaya waliua mtu yetu moja na waliaka watu 3 jeraha ambayo sasa wako Mara Referral Hospital, na tena sisi pia tumebahatika tumewaua leo na hata jana waliuliwa bande hiyo nyingine tena ya nini wawili. Kwa hivyo sasa imefika mahali ambayo watu wamekuwa sasa wamejua triki zao, na KPR pamoja na polisi wamecooperate, na pia tulipata jeshi kutoka bande ya Pra, tumepata gari mbili ya jeshi wametusaidia. Kwa hivyo mimi kama chief nasema serikali wame haraka sana na wamesaidia.
A Samburu County vehicle was also sprayed with bullets, leaving the residents in fear.
Na tayari ameumiza watu wengine na ameua wengine. Kwa hivyo sisi nashindwa ni shida gani iko kwa jirani yetu, na hakuna wakati tumeenda kuiba hawa, na wameangamiza sisi kila wakati.
Leaders and residents are now calling upon the government to beef up security measures in the area, claiming that their daily activities are at stake.
Hebu mutoke huko juu mkuja hata hapa chini. Hata Kindiki mwenyewe akuja akae hapa. Hata yeye aone vile inaendelea. Tumeshindwa kulima mashamba, tumeshindwa kupanda mashamba kwa sababu kila wakati tunakimbia.
The injured victims are receiving medical attention at the Samburu County Referral Hospital as police continue to hunt down the bandits. Innocent Ogaro, Lookuptv.
Now, as more bodies continue to be exhumed in Shakahola, President William Ruto now says that the government will use all its resources to ensure that the perpetrators are brought to book. Speaking on AIC, Milimani, Ruto insisted that the charge will not be used to advance criminal acts. On Sunday, police officers searching for survivors in the Shakahola forest rescued 9 people, bringing the total number of people rescued to 81.
With the exhumation exercise continuing and the death toll on the rise, President William Ruto has yet again cautioned fake preachers that his administration will not allow churches to be used to advance religious extremism.
As a government, we have taken the decision that we are going to deal with the individuals that abuse the sanctity of faith and the word of God in a manner that we deal with all the other criminals, because we do not want an iota of blame on the church.
Speaking at AIC Milimani, the Commander-in-Chief insisted that investigations will be completed and those found culpable will be dealt with in accordance with the law.
I want to assure you that the government of Kenya is going to get to the bottom of what really happened. Give us a little time. Our security agencies are working round the clock so that we can unravel these acts that shame the people who want to abuse the sanctity of religion.
While accompanying President Ruto, Kiharu MP Ndindi Nyoro took a swipe at the opposition for politicizing the finance bill, which has elicited mixed reactions among Kenyans.
Our public debt is 9 trillion Kenya shillings. You came to a country where inflation was almost going to double digit. You came to a country where much of the workforce, the able workforce, 36% of those who are qualified to work have no jobs. You came to a country where we are not even able to feed ourselves. Mr. President, you had a choice to make us continue in bliss and enjoying ourselves in oblivion, or make the hard choice, make us tighten the belts now for us to have long-term stability in the future.
Other leaders present expressed confidence that there will be a turnaround in the economic situation.
What Kenya needed at this time was an economic revolution. And I believe, honestly believe, that the president we have today is the one person who could have taken us through to the next stage in our country, Kenya. We have a very able pilot at the controls presently, and we should thank God. The challenges ahead, that's what I'm saying, it's very easy to be in the opposition and criticize, but we must go through it so that we can recover our country.
Ian Keitani, Lookuptv.
To apologize for the details of that story. Once we have the story around the Shakahola massacre, we shall run it to you. President William Ruto has continued to defend his move to introduce a housing levy tax of 3%. Speaking during a press briefing at a State House in Nairobi, the head of state said the move to introduce the levy is to ensure that each and every Kenyan can have a decent place to live. Let's take a look.
The introduction of the housing levy tax has been a subject of debate for the past weeks in the country, with the workers and Kenyans opposed to the idea, saying it is one more tax that will affect their take-home.
You say it's not a tax.
It is not a tax.
What is it?
It is a contribution you are making, because if it was a tax, tax, it goes one way. You never get it. This is not a tax.
Okay, why
it is your money.
Okay, why then, Mr. President, if it's not a tax, if that bill hypothetically say is passed by the National Assembly, it's legally binding?
Yeah, of course.
It's not a tax, you said.
It is not a tax.
Why would I contribute? And if I don't want?
That's what the law says.
But why are you passing it?
Yeah, but why am I
President William Ruto on Sunday defended the move, saying it is meant to ensure that each and every Kenyan has a decent place to call home.
It is not a tax. It is your money. What you are doing, you are playing your patriotic duty. Because out there, we have millions of young people who get out of school every year. It is our responsibility, me and you. Why is it our responsibility? Because they are the taxpayers that end up paying our salaries, right? And it is our duty also to see how we can help them in a small way. And you have said correctly that their problem is employment. Precisely.
The president also clarified the fear that Kenyans will take forever to be able to afford a house.
Hii sasa hata kama ni 900, si nitachukua miaka 60 ndio niweze kununua nyumba. That is not the case. Hii pesa ambayo unatoa sio ya wewe kununua nyumba. Pale tukishajenga manyumba ya kutosha ambaye wewe unaweza kugharimu kwa ile mshahara yako, uko na tunajenga nyumba ya 2500, 4600, 8000. Ile the most expensive house tunajenga ni karibu 12000, 3-bedroom house.
The move, the president also says, will create employment for the youth in the country and upgrade the urban centers when it comes to decent housing.
So tunasema hivi, ile pesa ambayo tunaweka pamoja ni kutupatia uwezo ya kuleverage kwa hiyo pesa. Kama ni bilioni 5, tunaweza kuitengeneza kiuchumi iwe mara 5, mara 7, tuweze kuitumia kujenga manyumba. Hii manyumba itatusaidia kwa wale wanaishi katika vitongoji na hata wale wengine wote ambao wanalipa rent. Badala ya kulipa rent, wewe utaingia kwa nyumba ambayo badala ya kulipa rent utalipa mortgage.
Okay, Mr. President.
Unaelewana?
Yep. Brian Amwai, Lookuptv, Nairobi.
Amwai Brian with that story. Now, Mother's Day is celebrated all over the world. Now, the Kenyan Women Senators Association, led by nominated Senator Simba Kiage, visited prisoners at the Lang'ata Women's Prison to celebrate this day. Audrey Cherotich with that story.
Every second Sunday of May, many people celebrate mothers across the world, and with the advent of technology, the celebration mostly are done on various media platforms. Today, here at the Lang'ata Women's Prison, the Kenya Women Senators Association joined the inmates to celebrate the day, donating sanitary towels, food items, and bedding.
Tumewatembelea Lang'ata Women Prison. Tumekuja kusalimia as Mother's Day today. We have decided to touch their hearts. We have decided to be with the women today ili kuweza kuangalia shida yao. You know, Mother's Day sio ya sisi tu kukaa nyumbani, but of course ya sisi kuja na kutafuta kusaidia wamama na wale wanahitaji usaidizi.
The association's chair, Senator Hamida Kibwana, while explaining that it was quite a sad affair to note that some of the inmates are in prison because of a piece of meat, explained that the process to release 56 petty offenders had begun.
Our pride as Kenya women senators that we are so confident that we are going to release, we are going to pay fine and release 56 actually women inmates today. It is a joy for us. Yes, today tumekuja tu declare, but tomorrow and the next day ndio hiyo kazi itaendelea, but 56 women are going to be free.
The Deputy Commissioner General of Prisons, Florence Omundi, thanked the senators for their support, admitting that it was indeed difficult being a woman in prison.
Spending time in prison as a woman is not easy. You may not understand it. It is not interesting. And therefore, when you come and when I see the number of women senators, women partners, women from the legal fraternity, women and men from the medical fraternity and the media, it makes me feel excited. And on behalf of the Kenya Prison Service, I want to say thank you very much and wish all of us a happy Mother's Day. Amen.
The women senators promised to take this exercise across all the 47 counties gradually. And as the world marks the day in various ways, we at Lookuptv wish all the mothers a happy Mother's Day. Audrey Cherotich.
Indeed, it's true. A happy Mother's Day from the rest of us right here at Lookuptv. How did you celebrate Mother's Day? You know, it's a very important question. How important is your mom? You know, it's a question that you got to answer from time to time, and you don't have an answer for it. Then it's time to look into your life. You know, yep. Some of us went home to celebrate with them. We take a tiny breather right here on the Morning Drift. Once we come back, we'll be settling straight into our newspapers review this morning. See exactly what it is you're waking up with right there. But most importantly, exactly what you're talking about in the political economy and economy. Good morning.
Are you a beauty and elegance enthusiast? Look Up Soccer brings you a live shopping experience with your favorite vendors. Limu Luxury will be selling products ranging from skincare, hair care, body care products, bags, shoes, accessories, wigs, makeup, and perfumes. Join us this Tuesday, live from 1:30 to 2:30 p.m. only on Lookuptv and all our social media platforms.
Sensei Institute of Technology is the home to the best practical courses, giving you a hands-on experience to handle the world. A place to build your skill and see the world in a different. For you to join us, ensure you have your national ID card and be ready to enjoy the ride. Sensei College, my skills, my future.
Why Malindi? Any idea why the A-list celebrities, politicians choose Malindi as a destination? Is it the sandy, spotless white beaches, the rhythmic, relaxing oceanic waves, or is it the great potential investment opportunity that Malindi has to offer? Dark Balance, we are here with a variety of projects from as low as 99,000 shillings. You get an eighth of an acre with ready title deeds. Book your plot today with only 35,000 shillings and get a free return air ticket. Be the next investor in Malindi with Dark Balance. Call us now on 0740 888 111 or 0740 888 222. Dark Balance. We promise, we deliver. Why wait? 20 Malindi.
Are you a junior secondary school, a college, a TVET institution or a university and you want to advertise your intake? Book now and advertise with us today on both Lookuptv and all our digital platforms. Call us today on 011 0430 158 011 0430 158 or email us on sales@lookuptv.co.ke.
Mtazamaji, wanasema ukipanda pantosha utavuna pankwisha.
Kwa muda mrefu tangu nikuwe mtoto nimekuwa nikitamani sana kuanza biashara.
Siku ya leo tuko katika chumba cha maonyesho cha Palais Eleganza.
Bidhaa zetu ni za bei nafuu sana.
Mtazamaji, kama unavyosikia, si bei ambayo hauwezi nunua, ni bei ambayo unaweza ukanunua. Viti hivi vya umeme vinapatikana hapa Palais Eleganza Furniture.
Hapa kazi, hapa kazi, hapa kazi.
Mkatahendi mkele na ngenda mkele, akipakia jahazi mchele tele hurudi na upele. Tafakari hayo. Jina langu ni Wamba Wahisi na haya ni makala ya Hapa Kazi.
Hapa kazi, hapa kazi.
Good morning, it is indeed from us here on our Lookuptv, but most certainly the morning drift. Well, let's look at exactly what it is that you're waking up to this morning in terms of your newspapers. And I would like us to open with the Standard this morning because indeed there's just a lot that they have prioritized this morning as you're waking up. Now, the big headline for the Standard this morning is about how the two premiers, if you like to say, that is Raila Odinga and President Dr. William Ruto, that in 24 hours, Kenyans saw them meet twice, actually 3 times, all right? And that's the big headline there, that in 24 hours, the political rivals Raila Odinga and William Ruto have made 3 public appearances together, hinting at possible mending of fences amid discontent over the high cost of living and taxation that is hurting us citizens. That story has been covered heavily on page 6. I will take you back to the burial of the widow of former freedom fighter, that is Dedan Kimathi. And if you listen to the speech by one Raila Amolo Odinga, you would hear that indeed there's a man who really just trying to find a truth, because it's what he said, quote unquote, he said, huyu Ruto tumefanya na yeye kazi miaka mingi, ninajua atapoa. Your translation of that particular speech by Raila Amolo Odinga that was essentially addressed to one President Dr. William Ruto is just for you to make out. Because indeed you would listen to that and then say, this are men who are already in a conversation. They met more than once in 24 hours, and there clearly seemed to be bad blood really between them, because you could see they were all smiling, greeting each other in all those public appearances they've met. Again, yesterday we did see President Dr. William Ruto again meet Raila Amolo Odinga in the Mashemeji Derby, and that's the picture that has been shared right there on the Standard this morning, saying that how President William Ruto greets Azimio leader Raila Amolo Odinga at the Nyayo Stadium yesterday. Also, there were so many other leaders who were watching the football match between AFC Leopards and Gor Mahia. So you would say that indeed there's no bad blood, because if you really do not want to meet somebody, then you would avoid visiting the vicinity of that person who you consider your foe. Really, we can't say that indeed we've seen that for the past 24 hours that we did see the two, that is Raila Amolo Odinga and Dr. President William Ruto, meet in those public gatherings. Again, if you look at exactly what you have on page 2 of the Standard as well, there's a story here that has Pastor Ezekiel, you will say the embattled Pastor Ezekiel Church. They said that the Sikh from as far as Uganda, Tanzania, Ghana, Dubai, and Australia flocked to embattled Pastor Ezekiel Odero's church in Kilifi County seeking healing. That's a story that has been covered on page 2 of the Standard this morning. And I will read it again if you didn't get to hear it. The Sikh from as far as Uganda, Tanzania, Ghana, Dubai, and Australia flocked to embattled Pastor Ezekiel Odero's church in Kilifi County seeking healing. Yeah? At a time when we are trying to come up with modalities or policies that are going to be used to regulate churches in the country. You can see that this particular headline here would point out to where we are as a country, even as we are getting ready to regulate this. When you have people from as far as Australia and Dubai, all right, it's exactly one thing that you really have to think twice before then going into deeper conversations about regulating churches in the country. That's exactly what we have for you right here on the Standard this morning. Also, on page 7, you're going to read about how schools now face hard times over delayed funding, and also how KCB now overtakes Equity as the largest bank. There's banks that have been competing by then in terms of asset basis. If you go back to 2020, when KCB has not, when Equity had not really declared their dividends, you will see exactly how they jumped beyond Equity. And these are banks that have been big in terms of offshore investments. That story has been covered heavily on a page 21. And if you want to read about how Ingwe emerged Derby winners, that particular match that was watched by Raila Amolo Odinga and President William Ruto, then you can go all the way to page 32 of that particular newspaper. Good. That's exactly how it is that we're waking up to this morning in terms of what the Standard has covered. And it's a good thing they missed Arsenal's game yesterday. Listen, I'm a journalist. I'm not supposed to criticize how we journalists work, but you would think that that particular story will be typed and ready so that we wake up to it this morning. It's not that. Anyway, for Arsenal fans, you know what? They say we live to try another day, and we're going to try again another day, or next year, Listen, it's just August. Let's take a break for the next 3 months and come back and continue. That's how it is. They say you live to try another day. We are not going to listen to anybody telling us how we bottled the league. How did we bottle the league when at the start of the season, nobody gave us a chance to claim the top 5? There is no way Arsenal bottled the league. No, I'm not going to listen to anything. Or we're not going to listen to anything. When nobody is going to talk about Arsenal in any way, we are number 2. Now, there's a medal for number 2. If this was a competition, we would have a medal on our necks. That's how it is. Anyway, let's jump into the People's Daily. So the Standard have done us a favor. They haven't covered that story, so they understand. It's not a big deal. Arsenal, we live to try another day. It's not news, guys. Do not wait for it. All right, let's jump into the People's Daily this morning so we can actually see what they have then fronted on their front page. And if we can look at it together then this morning so we can get to read it together, moving away from the Standards. That's exactly what they've covered today. Rogue churches face tough times. And that's exactly what we need to have a conversation about. And guess what? We're going to table that conversation really. Because when you say rogue churches face tough times, it is going to be hard to really, and that's from the expert analysis that we've already had right here on the studio. It's going to be hard to come up with policies, regular charges when Article 32 is telling you, you cannot change what I believe in. That we need to see exactly what those policies are going to be. Because here, it's saying that with the death toll from the cults rising and with hundreds missing, government talks tough despite clerics' protests. That is, that story has been covered on the People's Daily on page 4. So grab yourself that particular one and read it. Again, that there's this big story down here about how Ruto has now ruled out a handshake even after 3 Raila meetings in 24 hours. Even on that particular speech that he had right there for Darren Kimathe's widow, you would listen to it and say, well, he didn't say anything about handshake. Guys were saying, well, the talks will continue regardless. Now, this is a third meeting in 2 days between President William Ruto and Azimio leader Raila Odinga left Kenyans asking whether there was a political deal in our offing. The two met again yesterday during the Mashimeji Derby, but in a televised interview, Ruto ruled out a political handshake. And we're going to talk about what that essentially means in the country. I do see our guests are already sitting in the studio, so we're going to jump into that shortly, make sense of that. Also now, right here, if you look at what the People's Daily has covered up there, danger lurks for lions and jumbos. They're saying that elephants from Savon National Park also sort of going into rampage at night, raiding their farms. So it's animal-human conflict that we have covered here. And that's exactly what it is that we're going to talk about shortly then, once we come back into that conversation. So this is exactly how your dailies look this morning. There's a big stories that we're going to talk about. It's this particular one, this an ongoing one, and we're going to have a deep conversation about it. The rogue churches facing tough times. If you read Article 32, by the way, and it's a brief chapter. Because indeed, we've never figured that we will get into regulating people's beliefs or the conduct of churches. It's quite brief. So maybe now, that's why majority of clerics in the church are protesting. The AG is already saying that it's fronting a tough, and that's what he's saying, is fronting tough bill that's going to rein in on churches in the country. You saw what the clerics did last Friday. The Anglican Church did come in and put on the spot the way in which Dr. President William Ruto has been running the government, saying they disagree with a couple of things. Number one, about how the cost of living has shot up in the country. They feel like he hasn't been able to contain it. And they've gone back and said, we do not agree with some of the state appointments that you are making in this country. Case in point, the CASs and some of the state officials that they think have questionable backgrounds. Would you call that the church fighting back? Because now all of a sudden that honeymoon that we did see President Dr. William Ruto come into power with also the First Lady saying that every end of the month we'll be having masses at State House to thank God and also calling on the clergy to bless State House. It looks as if it's now on, what you say, an ice-cracking environment. Is that going to be the case? We're just waiting to see exactly what the AG and his bill, and also the commission that has been put in place then to come up with policies to regulate the churches, is going to look like. That is exactly how it is that you wake up to this morning in terms of your dailies. Some of these stories, like I've said, are going to form the center stage of a conversation right here on The Morning Drift, the big conversation. We are online on Lookuptv across all your social media platforms. Talk to us. Also, by the way, let me say a big shout out to all the members of Kijauri. That's my home area. I was there yesterday and they said they watch every morning, and they've got a couple of questions that they wanted me to put to our guest this morning. I'll be calling out your names and then putting those questions across to our guest this morning. Coming up shortly, we're going to get into a conversation of how the political climate in the country looks like. We do have Eric RAGALO, who's a political analyst, and Eric MUNGAI as well, who's a political analyst as well. All right, now let's take a look at this beautiful feature that we have for you this morning, so we take that break as well.
He was raised in an humble background, then a little child who found himself growing up in crime at Dandora Estate in Nairobi County, where he was raised.
Mi kudrop out ni juu niliangalia jo venye mzayana lipaifi alikuwa na struggle design ya noma jo, unapata. So mi niliangalia niko na mabro wako nyuma. Alikuwa ananifuata my siblings. So venye na mabro niko na mimi nikisoma kampo hawa watasoma. Jo itaisha, unajua kampo pia ni dosi ndio.
Residents here refer to Bilgeto Cheng alias Kisaba and his team as dangerous dogs, forcing everyone to stay alert whenever their absence was felt.
Udingine takanga tunakaza road, tunatoka, tunaenda. Sasa tukiamua tunapita Ngundo road yote. Tunaenda tukipata penye kuna ka supermarket kamedalisha nayo. Toka, tuendelea safari kama Masai venye utembea, unacheki. Kwenye mmetoshekea mnarudi area. Ni hatingi sanye nimekutana na mtu mwenye niliibia. Nacheki, siku nyingine tulisanya madam fulani. Alafu tumekaa tunaserereka. Wewe madam tunamwona tu anakimbia huku na huku. Unajua hizi tujua juu pia kuna vile tulikuwa tunaingia kama Brooklyn Boys, unacheki. Wenye anajifunika ngamasi. So huwezi jua. So huyo madam manzemi na kanga hivi na muona anapita. Hiyo kitu ni hard sana.
At some point, Ocheng was able to cheat death where he survived a mob justice and police bullets as some members of his gang were gunned down by the police. It is at this point that Ocheng decided to open a new chapter of his life, a suicidal chapter.
Sasa mimi nilisacrifice education yangu ndio mabro zangu wa maade. So mimi nilipata help ya kwanza hivi. Nikaona bado hiyo ndio inategemewa na mzae, ilipochuo nikaona hapa tumepotea jo. Hapa tuta struggle na tutoke bila, na ndugu zangu wakasaidia kusoma, unacheki. So mimi nikachukua hiyo help nikabuy gun. Mimi napoteza mabei. Zile matanga nimeenda na mazishi ni mingi sana kushinda birthday. Yaani design yenye mimi nilifika point nikasema siendi kuzika mtu tena. Ikifika tu siku zao za mwisho unapatanga kona do amepiga look nyingine fine, unacheki. Juu mimi naweza kumbuka pia ref yangu marehemu Katelo. Siku zake za mwisho alikuwa mnona man.
Where he decided to upgrade his criminal activities to car hijacking business and armed robbery.
Sasa hivyo ndio nikaona hizi wizi ndogo zitaniua mapema. Sasa ndio tuli upgrade. Tukasema tufanye kitu yenye tutaishi miaka mingi sasa. Life ilikam ikakuwa for some time tukaifanya tukaingia kwa Mandai sasa. Kuingia kwa Mandai sasa hapo ndio maisha ikaanza kubadilika, unacheki.
Ocheng and his gang members' main task was to identify busy roads in Nairobi, which are historically characterized by high traffic jams, before they could ask for a ride, and then they would hijack the vehicle.
Inalingana tu na customer. Hata hospitali ni za kunataka ambulance na unachukua ambulance na kwa. Yaani udingo ikuangia ati ni kitu unatamani ati kwa yako. Inahungana ni mtu tu anataka, hata ukiona mtaa yenyewe inaibiwa. Kuna mtu anatamani tu TV kaa yako, anatuma mtoto mdogo aende aibe, unacheki. Yaani ni unaona pesa cheap. Haikuangia ati ni mtu anatamani kuendesha gari kai. Kwanza madingo wapendi kuendesha magari. Haikuangi tamati anataka kutajiri, ni mtu tu anataka tu maisha soft.
As they carried on their criminal activities, one day, while at their daily routine, Ocheng once again was lucky to survive bullets from the furious police officers who had received orders to mercilessly deal with armed criminals and car hijackers in Nairobi.
Wanapiga juu. Hapa tu ndo nilipigwa risasi. Ilininyua tu hata. Ilikuwa moja, best yangu ndo alipigwa 7.
It is after this incident where Ocheng decided to abandon criminal activities.
When niliona blood ya best yangu nikaamini enyewe kama cartel ameenda, sisi pia tutaenda. Na nikasema cartel alipigwa maitoka, walikuwa wameenda kuria umali pengine. Bana, so haikuwa fine tu hiyo siku yao iliishia hapo. I guess 40 ilifikia hapo. Ukionanga unafanyanga shughuli kama hizi na umeweza kupona, weka ukijua hiyo ndio mwisho wako inakaribia. Sasa zile umeanza tu kukafunga hivi ndio unajuanga hapo ndio siku zako za mwisho, na cheki. Yeye inakonga tu ni kitu iko kwa streets. Hata ukiangalia mastepa wengi wenye walisonga. Nikasema to hell with this man. So mimi niliwapeanga hiyo mguu ya kuku, nikamwambia ni aje, mimi sitaki kujua ni aje venye life yenu itaenda mbele, but yangu nishaamua. Mimi nakuwa msanii.
Where he embraced his music talent, which he has since been using to earn a living.
Hakuna kesi nasikia judge amebleki, rapper anadai grudge and is shaking. Kani gari mini clutch weni breki, I am taking over and I'm still overtaking.
As he continues to preach to his fellow youth about the dangers of crime.
What do I want for the next coming man? Ule mse mwenye saa yako chuo anataka kuja kwa hii ghetto. Hii ghetto pia tunajua sio safe. Haiko poa na wanafunzi ama watu wenye wako na fragile minds, unacheki. Mimi venye katela libugda mimi nilikuwa na perform hiyo time. Nilikuwa ngakanigo man. Nilikuwa nishawaambia nikirudi leo jo na watolea form. Juu leo ni mshahara yangu ya kwanza inaingia. Bana na napata do ya mkono yangu, unacheki. Nilikuwa nimebambika, nilikuwa nataka kwa prove ni aje. Do ya mkono pia iko. Manzi alafu sikuenda kuprove ya the guy wangu bana. Marehemu wapatikani kwa sasa msee.
Shadrack Kareria, Lookuptv.
All right. That story there by Shadrack Kareria, you can turn around your life. We were watching together with Mr. RAGALO right here in the studio. Mr. RAGALO, you said that's Swahili. It's
I was saying that Swahili.
Yeah.
Now that is deep Swahili.
Yeah.
You only find it in the ghetto. The other guy is saying that Swahili, if you go to the deep Dandora, deep Kariobangi, or even deep Kawangware, you
Yes.
get that Swahili.
That's where you get it
And
from.
it's the Swahili
Yeah.
you get in any other part of Nairobi. Now that is the other one, we call it normal Sheng Swahili.
Yeah.
Okay. Then there's the Swahili now we talk in school.
I'll be coming back to you on that, isn't it? Yeah.
It's language evolution.
Fantastic. He's right in the studio. We also do have another Eric as well. Yeah, that's it. So we do have two Erics on set today. We have a lot that we're going to discuss this morning as well. We do have Mr. Mungai with us as well. How are you doing, sir? Happy to have you around. There's just so much that we're going to go into. Religion is also building up. President Dr. William Ruto defended his idea of getting back to 16% VAT, the National Housing Fund as well, that he wants you to contribute 3%. He's defended it heavily. So spoken about the political climate in the country, specifically is a relationship with one Raila Amolo Odinga, and the so talked about handshake that he keeps on saying it's not going to happen. So we do have a lot that we're going to weigh in on this morning. For now, we take a tiny breather. Once we do come back, Eric Ragalo and Eric Mungai right here on the Morning Drift. You can join us online at Lookuptv across all your social media platforms. I am Kiage Simba. Good morning.
Hey darling, are we still on for a coffee date?
I'm waiting for you to come and pick me up.
I should be able to pick you in a few.
It's a coffee yogurt date?
It's not just a yogurt, it's royal coffee yogurt.
Flow with the sweet taste of thick and smooth Royal Fresh coffee yogurt. Royal Fresh, the royal taste of freshness.
We as Novena United Circle are a society that is able to provide a platform for business startups by providing financial aid to members and creating a platform to accumulate their savings. We look for small business entrepreneurs who are starting a business venture and provide the best opportunity to expand our business niche and turn it into something big. For more information, call us on 0768 757 956 or WhatsApp us on 0734 832 430. Novena United Circle. Tuungane pamoja.
Why Malindi? Any idea why the A-list celebrities, politicians choose Malindi as a destination? Is it the sandy, spotless white beaches, the rhythmic, relaxing oceanic waves, or is it the great potential investment opportunity that Malindi has to offer? Dagmar learns we are here with a variety of projects from as low as 99,000 shillings. You get an eighth of an acre with ready title deeds. Book your plot today with only 35,000 shillings and get a free return air ticket. Be the next investor in Malindi with Dagmar Loans. Call us now on 0740 888 111 or 0740 888 222. Dagmar Loans. We promise, we deliver. Why wait? 20 Malindi.
Are you a beauty and elegance enthusiast? Lookup Soka brings you a live shopping experience with your favorite vendors. Limu Luxury will be selling products ranging from skincare, hair care, body care products, bags, shoes, accessories, wigs, makeup, and perfumes. Join us this Tuesday live from 1:30 to